So, Nick Workman here from Vega. How's it going with you these
I'm very
days?
well. Yeah, very well indeed.
That's good. That's good. You're with Frontiers Records and you got Kiss of Life CD. What do you think of that album? It's a good release. And
Oh, we're very proud of it. It's been a long time coming for us because we finished it in November last year. Sorry, November 2009, and obviously we had to wait 12 months for it to come out. So it's been a long 12 months, but it's finally out, and we're really happy with the reviews and the response we've been getting. It's been brilliant.
who are some of the musicians on this album?
Well, Vega consists of myself, obviously on the vocals. We've got Dan Chantry on drums. And then on keyboards is James Martin, and on guitars is Tom Martin.
And what this is a touring group also?
With touring, we get a couple of other guys in. There's a guy called Nick Horn. He played a few solos on the album. And then on the bass, we kind of haven't really sort of settled into a regular bass player as of yet. But we will do soon, I'm sure.
How you keep your vocals so healthy and so strong? Because you got some very powerful vocal cords.
Thanks. I guess I'm lucky in the respect that I can hit it quite hard and it doesn't sort of affect me too much. I had a couple of lessons when I was in my teens, just learning how to sort of making sure you're singing from the stomach and sort of correct breathing. And I guess that sort of, I think a lot of rock singers think the more gravelly and gritty their voice, the better it is, and the more rock it is. But they don't obviously have the test of time then. So I'm lucky in the respect that I kind of keep it quite technique-wise. I don't sort of strain myself. You know, the range and that sort of stuff comes to me quite naturally.
When did you start with Frontiers Records?
Well, we formed Vega in the summer of 2009. And Tom and James had been writing songs for different Frontiers artists for quite a while before that. And they'd said to Serafino at Frontiers, look, we want to do our own band, our own album. And he'd said, well, who have you got in mind? And they mentioned my name. And he said, well, if Nick's up for it, we'll talk. So they approached me that summer, and we started writing the album then. And then after everyone came back, when they were going their summer holidays, we sent Serafino a few of the demos. This was about September time, and they said, yeah, let's go for it. So we sort of like signed on the dotted line about October time.
Would you say the songwriting process was long?
No, not for us. I mean, we pretty much, because we were so sort of like high and excited on, just starting out this band, we'd have a discussion on the phone sort of like 3 o'clock in the afternoon and talk about what kind of song that we want to do. Tom and James would work through the night on the music. I'd wake up in the morning and have that music in an email. I'd work through that day working on the lyrics and the melodies, and by the evening of that day, the song would be finished. So none of the songs took longer than 24 hours to write.
And then the recording process was how long, you'd say?
Recording wise, we did it in 2 bits. We were just to sort of like secure the deal with Frontiers. We recorded 3 songs in the summer, which was over sort of like the period of a week. And then we went and hit the studio for about 2 weeks in November to finish the rest of the songs. So it wasn't too long. It was quite easy for us. But John Greatwood, the guy who produced it, by the end of it, he was like at death's door. We worked him hard.
Was this all digitally produced?
Yeah, it was all done on. In fact, I'm not sure what he used. I think it was Logic or something like that, or Cubase, one or the other. I didn't really look that far into it. But no, it was all done onto. It was done in a proper studio, but we recorded real drums. We didn't want to do programmed drums. And John Greatwood, sort of like, he was actually he was a master of it. He was just like cutting and sort of chopping things apart here, there, and everywhere. And it was a very easy process because he just knew exactly what he was doing.
And what are some of your influences?
Vocal-wise, I'd love people like Ray Gillan from Badlands. Even though Joe Elliott gets slagged off for his singing, he's got a style that everyone's copied over the years. There's Kit Winger, Joey Tempest, Sebastian Bach, all those guys in the 80s and 90s who were sort of like at the height of their game.
And you can hear these influences in your voice. Ray Gillan, very good choice.
Yeah, I think Ray Gillan was just like, well, he's such a great loss. He was an amazing vocalist because he just had heart and soul, and he just had such a sort of good range, high and low. So no, he was just like, if he'd have been around today, he'd be a legend.
Did you follow Ray Gillen's work in Black Sabbath at all?
I didn't know. I know he did the one album. You know what? I haven't heard that album yet. I've just heard the Badlands stuff and some of the stuff he did after that, Sun Red Sun. So I will at some point check that Black Sabbath stuff out.
And what about tour dates? Do we have anything lined up for 2011?
It's slowly coming together. We're just waiting to find out about a tour that we were trying to get onto as a support band, but we won't know about that for a week or so. That's in the spring. But we've got a festival in Spain in June, and we've got a couple of festivals we're just sort of like learning about now in Europe, in and across Europe at some point in the summer. And we're playing in London with Houston in March. So the tour dates are slowly coming together. We'd love obviously to come across the Atlantic to see you guys, but I guess that's down to a promoter dipping his hand in his pocket and getting us over there.
Would you say the economy for the music in your region is doing good at this moment, or is it like the same like the US and Canada?
I think when it comes to buying a CD and stuff, I don't think that's so much of a problem. But I think coming out to gigs, especially over here, unless it's sort of like a big gig, people don't tend to come out of the house. It is tough getting people to see the smaller bands, like a band like us just starting out. It's a tough call, which is why we sort of like happily jump onto some support shows, But we'll see. Hopefully it'll improve. Hopefully the new generation of rock bands like ourselves in Houston can start bringing in a younger sort of like following.
Would you say that now the people are more on YouTube waiting to see the concert showing up on YouTube instead of going out and watching it?
Potentially. I just think people... The problem with rock, I think, these days, the kind of music we're doing is that we haven't really got much of a new breed of young fans. They're starting to come through, certainly. Yeah. But the other fans are sort of like they've done their gigs throughout their life. They've been to plenty of dirty, sticky venues and the concerts outdoors and all that. And now they're at the age where it's just like, oh, I don't know if I want to go out there. So I think it's a tough call on that front. I think we just need to get a younger fan that doesn't mind getting their feet dirty.
Well, Nick Workman, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and we're going to look at the rise of Vega.
That'd be good. We finally got there at least.
All right. Well, you have a great evening.
Thank you very much. You too.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.